Hey, what's up guys, TechTine here and I'm back again with a brand new video. So before I begin, as always, I want to thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate anyone that's been watching my videos, subscribing to my channel, and even if you leave a thumbs up, that's also appreciated. But this is the 2025 Moto G Power and I've spent a couple of hours with it. There are a couple of things that actually made me happy about this phone. So last year's Moto G Power was such a freaking letdown because it felt like an incomplete phone. It almost felt like an afterthought. The design was not consistent. The leather material did not wrap all around design. It just felt like an extra phone. It didn't make sense. This time around, this phone actually makes sense. It's a really nice upgrade from the previous generation. It looks very similar to the 25 Moto G 5G, but basically the same leather material. Actually, not even the same. It looks the same, but it actually feels slightly better. It's more refined than the Moto G, than the 2025 Moto G. And again, it wraps all around the design, so it's very consistent, unlike the 2024 Moto G Power. If you guys want to see a comparison between those two phones, I'll make it happen. But also on the back, you do get a triple camera setup with, I don't know if you can count the ambient light sensor as a camera, but you do get a main sensor and an ultra wide with your LED flash. On the right hand side, you have your power button / fingerprint sensor, as well as your volume up and down. And weirdly enough, I've never seen this, but you do get a microphone on the side of the phone. On the top, you also have a microphone. The bottom of the phone has the following I/O, so you do retain a headphone jack, a microphone, plus a USB-C that's capable of really fast charging, as well as your bottom facing speaker. But this phone does have stereo speaker, where it uses the earpiece as a subwoofer. And in addition to all that, this phone is actually IP68 water resistant. So on the front of the phone, they like to say that it was military certified, whatever that means. But yeah, so you do get water protection on this phone, so it is IP68 certified. Thumbs up to that. So overall though, as a design, like I mentioned, it's a really nice upgrade. I feel like this is what the Moto G 5G should have been, but we'll save that conversation for a different day. So now I want to turn your attention and let's speak a little bit about this display. Now you do get a larger footprint display, so a 6.8-inch display that is 1080p. It is IPS LCD panel, but at least it's not 720p. Shout out to the Moto G. Anyway, so it's a very actually nice display. Now, some people may complain that it's not an AMOLED display. I don't really have an issue with the IPS panel on a budget phone. It's fine, it works really well. So the resolution on here is 2388 by 1080p at 387 pixels per inch. And it does give you 87% screen to body ratio, your 120Hz refresh rate. And the bezels are actually slightly smaller than the Moto G and the previous generation of the Moto G Power. Which means the following. So when it comes to watching content on this phone, it's very enjoyable. Browsing the web, watching videos, doing anything that would require you to obviously use this display would be an overall enjoyable experience. And I want to add to that the speaker on here is also stellar. It's a very solid speaker thanks to the earpiece and the bottom facing speaker. They're loud, crisp, so go ahead and take a listen to it. Well, be sure to subscribe and also leave a thumbs up. A lot of great content is coming really soon. So with that being said, one of the first things that I want to speak on when it comes to the 2025 Moto G 5G is this design, which is basically... Okay, so now I want to speak on the camera of the 2025 Moto G Power. So first of all, you get the following specs. So you get a triple camera setup. Well, the third camera is basically an ambient light sensor. Like I said, I don't really count it as a camera. But basically you get two main cameras. Your first one is a 50 megapixel f1.8 aperture, and your other camera is a 8 megapixel ultra wide sensor at f2.2 aperture, a 16 megapixel front facing camera. And like I said, I've only spent couple of hours with this phone, so I can give you a snippet of what I think about the camera, but not really a final conclusion. So the camera experience itself is just what you would expect from this phone. It's quick. I do have to say that taking pictures is quick, but taking video is kind of slow when it comes to actually taking the video and when it comes to ending the video. It takes an extra second. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but if you get past that, then this phone does produce some fairly improved picture from the previous generation, but I do have to take some more, and I do have to spend a little bit extra time reviewing this camera. So if you want to see that camera review, be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and stay tuned for that. It's definitely in the works. But with that being said, I want to switch and talk a little bit more about the performance now. So the performance is... I have mixed feeling about it, right? So in the spec department, you do get the same processor as the Moto G, which is on the lower end, but I can make it work. It's a MediaTek Dimensity 6300 at octa-core. It's slightly clocked higher. You do get the Mali G57 for your GPU, 30 watts of wired charging, 15 watts of wireless charging, and you also have 8 gigabytes of RAM that you can upgrade to up to 24 gigabytes of RAM with RAM Boost, which we will talk about here later on. But basically, everything about the performance, the RAM itself is specifically is actually nice. So opening up daily tasks, opening up regular apps, it's quick, it's fast, and the RAM on here, 8 gigabytes standard, is actually really freaking good for this phone. But again, you can boost it out up to 24. Automatically, it is set in this AI auto mode that it will decide how much RAM you need, but you can pick and choose your own kind of RAM size that you would like. So take that information, do with it as you wish. Now, my bottom conclusion for the 2025 Moto G Power is as follows. So it still is it's definitely a solid device, but for the $299 price tag, I think it's a little bit overpriced. So if Motorola can get their pricing right, I would say that this is around $199 to $249. $249 I think is really fair. $299 you can definitely get something like the Moto Edge, which is superior in my opinion to this Moto G Power. So with that being said, I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments below, and I will definitely catch you guys in the next one.